Hello and welcome to Sons of Olympia. I'm Matt.
And I'm George, and we're brothers.
And our parents are Olympians.
Yes, we are the two sons of Olympian parents who have failed to fulfill their genetic potential.
And like all underachieving children, we have decided to start a podcast.
Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Before we start, I just want to say, if you are enjoying this podcast, and you have fun here, please give us 5 stars on Spotify. Please follow us. It really helps. And we love hearing your comments. It's been really great to see that at the moment. Matt, have you seen our recent engagement on Instagram? A video of
on
you
Instagram
popping off.
I think I know which video you're talking about here.
Yeah, it doesn't even mention mom and dad. So I think this is a big achievement. 38,000 plays on the video of you declaring yourself a 6'5" athletic monster. How does it feel?
I think it's, well, yeah, I mean, I said that not thinking 38,000 people would see it, but
you stand by it.
I mean, I stand by it. I am 6'5". I am an athletic monster. What do you want me to do? So
it is what it is, folks.
It is what it is, and I'm just glad I've not had a severe trolling in the comments. It could still come.
Yeah, the comments have been pretty kind. We had one from at Moy Images who said he'd make a terrible jockey or ballet dancer. What do you have to say to that?
I would say,
are you a
Moy
terrible
Images?
ballet
You
dancer?
don't know. Well, you don't know me, Moy Images. You don't know my athletic past. You're judging me purely on face value, and you don't know about my background in ballet. That I actually
you have a background in ballet.
I have a background in ballet. I studied it intensely as a 4-year-old for maybe 3 weeks, and I also have a history in horse riding, as we've talked about on episode 1, maybe. And I think Moy Images is right on that. I wouldn't be good as a jockey. But I didn't say I would be good at everything. I said most sports I would chance my arm at, and I'm standing by it. There, said it.
Nice, yeah. And I don't think she would have even thought that you would have had a background in ballet and horse riding. So there you go. You're a man of many talents. Right, that's enough about us. To Olympics. We are over halfway through the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. Are you enjoying it? Are you watching it? I hope you are.
Gosh, how can you not watch it? It's everywhere, and it's fantastic. I would have it on all the time if I could, but I'm really enjoying it. So much so, I've been on the snow myself this last week. I just was so inspired. I took the next flight out to get my skis on some snow. No, It was pre-planned, and I was always meant to be there.
Yeah, and you haven't gone to Italy. You're not in Milan or Cortina. Where did you go?
No, I went to Spain. I went to the Pyrenees.
Very nice.
And it was good. As I've said before, I'm not an amazing skier, but it's fun, and it just gave me appreciation to what these people are doing. There was moments where I'm still get scared on the mountain, on the the blues, the reds, and these guys are absolutely phenomenal athletes. The amount of air they get, the time they're spent in the air, I mean, it's so good to watch. Have you been watching much of it?
Of course. Before we get into it, I just want to say, what was your highlight? What's the best thing you did? You doing some backside 1080 melons? What are you doing? Hitting the rails?
Oh, I'm a melon.
Some big air.
I'm melanin. Yeah. You're talking your 360s, your 1080s. You can keep going.
You did some 360s?
No, I didn't do a 360. I do a little pop through the trees. Maybe a little pop.
A little bit of air.
A 1 foot popper. Yeah. Big
1
time.
foot popper. 6 inches of air.
Exactly. So it makes you feel like a champion. But yeah, it's as I'm saying, I'm a novice. But when you see these ski jumpers jumping really high and far, I honestly don't know how they do it, but it's fun to try, isn't it?
It is. Back to your previous point, of course, yes, I have been watching the Winter Olympics. Like you said, the skiing and the snowboarding is the best for me. It's just so cool. And having only done a little bit of snowboarding before, it's one of the ones that you can actually appreciate, like you said, how incredible they are, and they're so cool. And it's just like I saw one. I can't remember the name now. There was a big crash on one of the big airs, and like when they come down, it's like that is what they're risking every single time. I love to see
Definitely.
it.
Talking of crashes and near misses, the dual moguls. Have you seen that one where it's essentially the moguls, the bumps, and they're racing against each other? It's two people straight down, and it's a mixture. It's actually the first time I think this has been in the Olympics. It's like it's a mixture of speed, style, execution. So there's been some amazing runs where they basically lose control. They're on the brink of falling. Then they do a jump. And I saw one today where he finished backwards, not intentionally because he was falling.
It's just how he landed,
Yeah, there's just been. I actually went down a bit of a rabbit hole on social media of near misses or crashes in the Winter Olympics, and there was this other guy, Adrian Sejersted, a Norwegian downhill skier, and look this up, how he manages to stay on his feet. He flies in the air and he's almost sideways, but still manages to land on one ski and carry on. The commentary to that is hilarious, especially in French. So yeah, look it up. Hilarious.
Speaking of hilarious things in the Winter Olympics, the luge. What I was watching this with mom and dad actually a few days ago, and I was literally just giggling to myself the whole time watching it. It's like, come on, what is this? I understand. It's like we spoke about in episode 1, the ignorance of it, and not watching, like we said with skis, when you watch that, you can understand the difficulty of it. Watching someone just lie on their back, plummet down an ice tube really, really fast. You don't have that level of understanding of the sport to appreciate why it's difficult. Obviously it is, but I'm just like, surely it's better to just like, it is. And I'm like, surely the best tactic is to just like have 10 Big Macs and drink a load of water before you go down, and your fat ass will fly down that slow but incredible speeds. I'm like, I was just giggling the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I see your luge and I raise you double luge. Have you seen that?
When they're lying on top of each other.
Just pop another one on there. When does it stop? Why not? Just add a third.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe 4 people will go really quick. That's one for the enhanced games, I think. Just get a load of jacked up, proper ripped people. Just pile as many people as possible on the luge.
Yeah.
Absolutely fling it down.
I'd watch that. I endorse it.
All right, so things we did mention in our previous episode, we mentioned the skiing legend Lindsey Vons and how she was going to try and attempt the impossible with no ACL. And
which was interesting because we both don't have ACLs. Well, we have reconstructed ACLs, so we felt qualified to talk about it, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we thought what she was doing was amazing, but we sort of were hoping that there would be some dream ending for her. Sadly, it didn't happen, did it?
Kind of a nightmare ending, really. So she took off, and I believe her arm made contact with one of the flags, one of like the corner markers, and that threw her off. Came down terribly. I believe she broke her leg multiple places. I can't imagine
think she broke
that
her
knee.
Tibia in 3 places. Complex break, apparently. The good thing is, I mean, she's been quite clear around what's happening. She's not hiding away from any of this. And she mentioned she's been keeping people up to date on social media. And she said, post crash, she was 5 inches too tight in her line when her right arm hooked inside of the gate, twisting her and resulting in her sort of twisting in the air and crashing. She put her ACL and her past injuries had nothing to do with my crash whatsoever. So I think people would quickly assume that she crashed because of her ACL. So she wanted to quash that down, and that maybe this was just a routine, well, not a routine crash, but what would have happened regardless. I don't know if that makes it better or worse for Lindsey Vonn, to be honest, but she's now in hospital without an ACL and 3 breaks, which awful. Yeah.
And like, I remember like when I did my ACL, they like the rehab on it is so long. You go through all these stages, don't you? And it's all about like when to move it when, and quite quickly it's like move within the range of motion you can. I can imagine if you've got a fixed ACL and a broken leg, that's going to complicate the rehab, the journey after that. So hopefully, I mean, she'll have the best people on it, won't she? Wish her all the best. It did.
I mean, I think they actually probably won't repair her ACL. I reckon they'll just sort the leg out and then go in for the ACL.
That makes
maybe.
sense. Of course. Yes.
Because double would be awful.
Yeah. You would totally do it that way round. I've seen the error of my ways. They did see some discussion online, and again, it was all on the official Olympic channels. Everyone was very supportive. Do you know what I mean? Like, just sending sympathy and being like, she's a legend, blah, 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 blah. I feel like on TikTok and some of these other places where obviously the comments are all just going to be garbage anyway, there was some discussion about, should she have done this? Should she have, knowing that she was injured and she couldn't maybe do her best, should she have pulled out and let someone else in the team who was fit, who was healthy, have their shot in the Winter Olympics? Did she take a spot from one of her teammates unnecessarily if she knew that she was injured? What are your thoughts on that?
How ridiculous. How ridiculous. This person, despite having the ACL, was still capable. She did the practice runs before, so she wasn't completely incapable of doing a good run. This is the case of 5 inches, right? So if she was just 5 inches difference, she would have been, none of this would have happened, and she would have put together a competitive run, possibly. We'll never know what would have happened after that gate. But this was 5 inches. It just shows the fine margins that are, the difference at this sort of level. But I mean, it's so easy for people to criticize if you have a crash. Like, that's just saying, loads of people have crashed out in their events, and it's just like, oh, well, you didn't deliver then. So that could have gone to someone who could have. It's just, I've got no time for it, to be honest, George.
No, neither do I. And she is 41, her 5th Olympics. She is royalty on the slopes. Do you know what I mean? Like, she will be the vet in the, do they have locker rooms in the Winter Olympics? I don't know. The backstage. Village. Like, everyone will respect her. No one would ever be like, pull out, because like she's earned her right to try whatever she wants to. And we said, like, when we spoke about it last time, maybe she was younger, she would pull out because she would have her career ahead of her. But this was her last Olympics. She's earned the spot for many, many years. It's not just like competing this time. She's proved it over and over again that she has the right to be at these games. So she's not taking it from anybody. And I think anyone who wishes ill on someone in a situation like that is a low-life loser, and you should never read the comments. And I'm trying not to.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Maybe onto some funnier news, because there's been so much to discuss from this first week or so at the Winter Olympics, but one caught my eye. I thought it was very relevant to this podcast, and one of our listeners actually sort of mentioned us in this article, which I found very funny indeed. So the Winter Olympics, the IOC, I guess the Olympic Games, provide the Olympic Village with free condoms, right, for the athletes. I think it's sort of renowned that the village is just, everyone's just at it, basically. So the IOC provide all these free condoms, right? And they had 10,000 available at the start of the Winter Olympics. They ran out of them in 3 days. I mean,
dirty, dirty.
I did some quick maths here. So there's 2,800 athletes, 10,000 condoms, 3 days. About 3.5 goes per athlete. I don't think they're all doing it that often.
No.
You like to think they're all used.
Yeah. People are just getting overexcited and grabbing handfuls of condoms. So yeah. That is.
But I did a bit more digging and say they were for humor me. 10,000 condoms used. A condom has at best a protection rate of 98%. Should protect 98% of the time.
They what?
So,
well, they should put that on the box.
So there's 10,000 have been used. 98% are fine. So there's 200 broken condoms out there. There could be 200 sons or daughters of Olympia.
Oh, here we go. It all fits.
So, exactly. So this is where it happens. And this is just in the first 3 days. If we extrapolate this to the entire length of the Winter Olympics, we're on for a whole new human coming out of these Winter Olympics.
Yes.
But 10,000 in 3 days, that is nothing compared to the Summer Olympics. Paris gave out 300,000 condoms in the 2024 Olympics. And that's despite providing cardboard beds in the Olympic Village, which was reported as a way to try and stop the athletes bonking so much. But 300,000 condoms were still taken. So I say, just let them go. Let them go, and let's see what happens.
Well, you're saying remove all condoms from the Olympic Village. Let the best of the best get at it. It's so funny. It's like, you spend 4 years preparing for the Olympics, and then like in the lead up to the games, you're just sleeping on a cardboard bed, bonking 24/7. It's like, put your feet up, have a rest. Oh gosh.
We have to tread carefully on this subject because, of course, our parents were at the Olympic Village in 1984. So, oh God! Next segment.
Yeah, I don't believe any of us were conceived at the Olympic Games. No, but we'll ask them.
They might have been trying.
So, yeah. All right. So, condoms. Something that we hope doesn't break to something that is breaking. The medals at the Olympic Games. Have you seen this? That the medals are apparently breaking. A USA athlete in the downhill skiing with a fantastic name, Breezy Johnson. She's so chill. She broke her medal. And the way she did it was very funny. She says, I was jumping in excitement and it broke. Not crazy broken, but a little broken. And that,
it was on in an interview. It was on an interview. She was talking about Tom Daley. I think she likes knitting or something. And they were saying, would you like to meet Tom Daley? And she sort of jumped up and it just plops off.
Oh my goodness.
Hilarious.
Yes.
It's not a great look,
well,
is it?
I mean, no. And then that got me thinking, what are these medals made of? I mean, it should be obvious. Aren't they made of bronze, silver, and gold? And shouldn't these medals not be breaking? Well, it turns out that the medals haven't been made of solid gold since the 1912 Summer Games in Stockholm, Sweden. The gold medals are made of 500 grams of silver and just 6 grams of gold. So really, they are basically the same as the silver medal, just with a little bit of gold on top. And that's all that's different. Current price of metal, salt and medal, getting them confused. The metal prices at the moment would mean that a gold medal is currently worth around $2,500. That's quite a lot of money.
Really?
2.5 grand with the metal alone. But if it was solid gold, it would be worth over $80,000. So that's why they do
You can
it.
see why.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it got me thinking, like, that's quite a lot of money. Do people ever sell their medals? People do. People be selling their medals. Well, it turns out the most money ever made by an Olympic medal was Jesse Owens, who famously ran in the 1936 Olympic Games, where he won 4 gold medals, and they auctioned off one of his gold medals, and it went for $1.47 million, a record sale from an Olympic medal there.
Wow.
And
so it wasn't Jesse going to a pawnbroker's and just going, hey.
No. I think there's lots of lots of history behind that.
Of course, yeah.
But then it got me thinking, like, $2,500 is actually still quite a lot of money. Do people ever, like, would they sell their medals and all this? And it's got me thinking about how much these athletes might earn, because famously, you don't get a bonus from the IOPC Olympics for winning medals. I mean, surely the best in the world at the best loser in the world should get bonuses, and some countries do give sizable bonuses to their athletes if they win medals. And it turns out Southeast Asian countries seem to give loads of money to their athletes. For example, Singapore offer $792,000 for a gold medal, similar to Hong Kong, like $800,000 basically for a gold. And loads of countries do. Italy, Spain, Poland, France, Finland, Germany, USA, Japan, Canada all give some form of financial bonus to the athletes for winning medals. Even New Zealand give $3,000 for a gold medal, but Team GB, nothing. We don't give them anything for winning their medals. And apparently there is some sort of structured pay scale for athletes based on how likely they are to medal. So if you're likely to get like say Ben Weston, that was his name, wasn't it? The skeleton guy.
Matt Weston.
He was probably like up there, favourite, loads of status, if people can remember his name. So he probably would have got some sort of structured pay for being a favourite, but for actually delivering and getting the medal, Team GB pay him nothing.
Yeah, there's lots of talk around podium potential, isn't it? And if your podium potential is high, then maybe you get more backing. I don't know. It's what do you which way do you go? Do you go on do you think it's more lucrative to just be on podium potential, be like people back you, like think you're going to be good, or do you go, you know, pay me nothing, just give me it when I deliver the goods? It's like which lane do you want? Because I don't think there's that many Singaporeans cashing in on gold medals, especially not the Winter Olympics. So maybe that's why there's such big bonuses. Yeah. But yeah, some of the other countries you said, do get quite a few medals.
It's interesting that lots of countries are in there and we're not.
Yeah.
Bit of a tangent there.
Bit of a tangent, but you did mention Ben Weston. I mean, of course, Matt Weston. How could you forget his name? That is, of course, my name as well. Who's been absolutely dominating the skeleton, which is much cooler than the luge, in my respected opinion. The photos of that going head first just seems cooler for some reason. So Matt Weston delivering the goods, getting our first gold medal of the games, and then doing it again in the mixed skeleton with Tabitha Stockter. And I mean, Matt Weston is just the boss, because how they do this is, in this case, the women go down first, set a time, and then the men go down after, and it's your combined total. So Matt Weston had time to make up. And for some reason, he can just fly down there so much quicker than everyone else. He absolutely smashed it. So yeah, he's definitely the Team GB poster person of the games. But I also wanted to shout out our first ever Team GB's first ever gold medal on the snow. So we've had bronzes before, but we've never had a gold. And this was in the mixed snowboard cross. Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale. I find these like mixed stuff so cool, because it's kind of like gladiators. One goes off and then that's your time penalty, and it's like, you will go on my first whistle, and then you know the person who the in this case the women went second.
Yes.
So Charlotte Banks was a few hundredths of a second behind France going into that second race. And in the end, Charlotte Banks did this amazing takeover to take over France and then won by 0.43 seconds. But what I found really interesting about this, okay, yeah, we won our first gold on snow, but Charlotte Banks, right, used to represent France. She represented France at the last Olympics.
What?
And in this Olympics, she overtook France to win for Team GB.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not
so
know that.
Imagine
I did not.
how they feel about her.
So she must
Yeah.
have dual citizenship. She must. French and...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was deemed that she wasn't going to be competitive anymore for France. She contacted Team GB and was like, any interest from your side?
Charlotte
Yeah, we'll
Banks.
take you on a free transfer. Boom.
That's even better, because I was thinking, like, how would she have picked? And it's so good that she was dropped and then picked up by team and then beat that, because she also had a moment, didn't she, where in the individual women's, I think like the same thing, snowboard cross, she didn't medal, and there was an interview where she's like really upset. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened in Beijing or like an earlier Olympics. So she's like, she's missing out, she can't quite get it done. And then she did it in a, like you said, those corners were class. You have to be so careful that you're like finding that line that's like, you don't want to crash, but you got to take the risks. And she's got that time to make up.
And she was drafting the French woman. She could just sort of like, get in the draft and then break out on the corner, get the race in line. Phenomenal. So yeah, we got a great deal there, getting her whilst the stock was down. And then
thank you, France.
Yeah. Merci beaucoup.
What a great few days that was for Team GB, because I'm pretty sure we'd never got 2 golds in a Winter Olympics before. From what I understand, and now we've got 3. So this is our most successful Winter Olympics in terms of gold medals ever, which is great. Well done.
Exactly.
Everybody. Some other success from other countries, because we are witnessing an athlete that people are calling superhuman, the greatest of all time, the best we will ever see from Norway. I'm going to struggle with the name here. Johannes Hofslot Klober.
Wow, that sounded good.
You think? Yeah. So he is now the most winningest athlete in the history of the Olympic Games. I believe he is on 9 gold medals now across 3 Olympics, all in various skiing events. So this is like the greatest cross-country, I believe, how you might determine it, skier of all time. Very, very impressive stuff. But the most impressive thing I think I saw of him was this viral clip. Did you see anything like this of Johannes?
I don't know. Try me.
So there's this clip in what I think this was in the cross-country sprint. Johannes bombing it uphill on skis, averaging 11.4 miles per hour. 11.4 miles per hour, for people, in terms people might understand, that's a 5-minute, 15-minute mile, 3-minute, 16 kilometer uphill on skis. That's like 16 5K time pace.
And this isn't just on a little gradual hill. This is a steep hill.
Watching it as well, when people put it to like dramatic music, you're like, how? Just, very, very impressive. And clearly he's incredible. Most successful Winter Olympian of all time.
I would love to see this guy transition or try, what he could be great at 5K. Just your 10Ks, your cycling. He'd be. I bet these guys can just, really just switch it up and just be world class immediately, because it's just pure power, VO2 max. I'd love to see them in like just drop them in Diamond League 5K. Just see how they do. I bet we'd be like amazed.
But yeah, it's always pretty cool when we are witnessing The best of the
greatness.
best. Yes.
Yeah, and Norway are just also dominating the medal table, as expected, I guess. But they just seem to do so well all the time, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, how many has Johannes got this Olympics? So he's on 4 golds in 2026 already. We just said Team GB had never won 2 golds in an Olympics before this one. And he got 4 by himself. Wild.
Yeah, wild. Talking of greatness, I want to transition to maybe the greatest, I don't know, drama at the Winter Olympics we've ever seen. I don't think more people sort of know the term hogline. Do you know what a hogline is? A few days ago, no one knew what a hogline is. Now everyone knows what a hogline is.
Explain what
and
a
if you don't know,
for the listeners.
If you don't, hogline. Of course, I'm talking about curling and the drama that has happened on the ice between specifically Canada and Sweden. And this is all around, like, curling is like famously self-governed. You know, it's all about being, you don't need lots of refereeing, and people will be like, you know, keep the rules in check themselves. But there's been drama because Canada and Sweden were in a match, and the Swedish captain accuses the Canadian captain of it's called double touching. So when your sort of curling release person slides down to release the stone, they have a handle on that stone, right? And they have to release it before the hog line, which is this green line, painted on the ice. It has to be released on or before then. What this Canadian guy was accused of is double touching, so releasing the stone and then with his index finger giving the actual stone a little nudge on the way, which is not allowed. You're allowed to hold the handle and release that and go back to it if you want. As long as everything happens before the hog line, you're all good. But this guy was releasing the handle and then touching the stone beneath it with his finger.
Yes.
Not allowed, whether that happens before the hog line or after. It's a
hands off the stones. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, the Swedish guy goes to the Canadian guy, you know, you double touched. The Canadian guy, this has touched a nerve, and he gets very defensive very quickly, tells the Swedish guy to F off a few times. And the Swedish guy's like, well, I'll show you the video after. I'll show you. And it's pretty damning. I mean, the game went on, and nothing more was sort of happened about it. But then this footage, of course, gets leaked on social media, which I'll get to in a second, of course, shows the Canadian guy nudging his stone. What is funny is that we're not sure exactly how the footage was captured. So there's another level of drama in that, were the Swedes having some secret surveillance to capture the nudginess, because they knew that this guy is prone to nudging. So let's set up a little camera. Anyway, this is sort of, the Canadians are sort of famously very polite. You know, they don't like all this stuff, all the controversy and the drama, and so it's very un-Canadian like. But yeah, they've had a lot of I guess abuse around like his reaction to it, which I think his overreaction probably said everything you needed to know about it. That he knew that he was touching it because he got so defensive so quickly. Yeah, and the Swedes are just like, well, our camera's picked it up, mate, so you can F and Jeff all you want. Yeah, hilarious.
So I didn't understand what the drama was about when I first saw this clip. The Canadian man in question is called Mark Kennedy. I'm going to call him out because I think, Mark, you should be ashamed of yourself, not just for touching the stone, not just for cheating. To behave like that at the Olympics, I think, is really actually quite bad. It's not in the spirit of it. Like, everyone swears, no big deal. But like, he does sort of apologise in a clip. He says, "Oh, I'm a role model to young curlers in Canada. That was a very, very small percentage of the population, mate. The young curling community in Canada. Everyone was watching that. The world has seen you, and I do feel like you should be really actually quite embarrassed about how you responded to that. Like you said, it's pretty telling in how you actually feel. That I think he knows that he touched those stones, but to like be cursing and like swearing in anger at the opposition is a very, very bad look, and I don't like it.
It is, yeah, no. And I think his comment is like, apology was something like, "I'm sorry if you have been offended by it," and it definitely wasn't sorry to Sweden.
No,
so
yes,
so yeah, I understand what you're saying, Mark, but I do not accept your apology on this occasion. No. Yeah, learn the rules, mate. Yeah, but do you want to know why it's called the hog line?
No,
there's a bit of.
I mean, I do want to know.
Trivia.
I don't know.
Because I was like, why is this called the hog line? Anyway, it's 19th century Scottish slang, which means weak sheep or hog. So a weak sheep was called a hog, and it essentially means like the weak sheep was then culled from the flock. So yeah, killed. So basically, if your stone doesn't hit the line, it's a lazy hog, and
oh gosh,
and then the stone won't count or something. Yeah. And then there you go.
I just wanted to add one more thing on this. So I read one article about this earlier, and some guy high up in curling, world curling or whatever, said he thinks that touching the stone or giving it a little nudge or trying to correct it after the release, like there are lots of reasons you might want to touch a stone. He said it's very unlikely that would make a difference to how it would play out or how that stone would move, as if that sort of like meant that was all right. To me, it's like these people will know. I mean, I understand it now. I didn't know what hogline was until a few seconds ago. That it's the handle. That's part of it. Do you know what I mean? It's not this motion. It's a release. He'll know the rules of curling, and he deliberately. And like he said, it's even worse that it's this self-governing honour sort of system. It makes it even sourer for me. So to me, I don't care if it didn't make a difference or he's deliberately cheating. Even if it isn't to win the game or affecting the game, he knows what he was doing. And just the way he's reacted, I think he actually might be a scumbag. And I really don't like him.
And welcome to our next week's guest.
Get him on. I've got a few words to say to you.
Yeah, I mean that argument of saying, well, it doesn't do anything. Well, then why do it at all then? Because he's intentionally gone out his way to prod it. So if it doesn't do anything, like why bother? Why go out your way to do it? You're looking for something. It just happens that it might not do anything. Idiot.
Yeah. First enemy of the podcast, Mark Kennedy, the Canadian curler.
Yeah, our first non-friend of the podcast. What I found funny as well, and I know that he's been doing this at previous Olympics, but Steve Cram commentates on the curling, which of course was one of Dad's old teammates, and I just love that Crammy's just got like a real interest in curling. I mean, maybe he hasn't, or maybe he's just been put on it and he's just had to learn curling.
Yeah. He's like, I want to commentate at the Olympic Games. And he's like, well, curling's free.
Yeah.
Well, of course curling's free, but look, it's either curling or the luge. I'll take curling.
I'll take double luge if it's free.
That is funny.
But it's really funny. And then I was like, I wonder if Dad would be up for commentating. You know, he might not get a gig at the Summer Olympics, but would he be keen at the winter? So I gave him a call and said, what would you be up for? Any ideas?
Oh, you actually asked him
for commentating on? Yeah, I actually asked him.
I think he would be really funny at lots of them, to be fair. I think, I don't know. I'd love to see him commentate like the snowboarding, the half pipe, or the luge. I don't know. What
he actually, I agree. The luge would be hilarious. But I think he said he needs to see basically an out-and-out winner. So he enjoys like the speed skating, which I guess is like
He did
similar
mention
to what he was doing, you know, laps, running, there's a winner, there's a
Yeah.
finish line. But he also likes the snowboard, ski cross, you know, the BMX, and it's a race.
Yeah,
He said he needs to see an out and out winner, you know, and I said, you know, well, you like Strictly. Would you be interested in figure skating or what he called ice dancing?
It makes more sense. It makes more sense.
Yeah. But yeah, he said he wouldn't be able to. He doesn't feel like he's got the skill set to commentate on ice dancing. So yeah, he needs a finish line, which is understandable.
Yeah. He does like the speed skating, because we were watching the relays together. Did you seen this where you like grab the person, like fling them in, and you're watching it like, what is going on? It was like that's how I felt like watching it. It's like, whoa, because like, who's in? How are they not crashing? There's some bits where they're like throwing the other person in, and they almost like, oh, they got the speed wobbles, and like, oh man, I was like, that is, I don't think I've seen that before. That one was crazy.
Yeah.
We hadn't discussed talking about this. So the curveball for you. There was that whole controversy about the Ukrainian skeleton athlete who had a helmet with the fallen. I think they were athletes who had died in the war, and he had painted them on his helmet, and he was banned. They said he couldn't compete. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a sad situation, I think, for everyone involved. And it's like I think there was someone from the IOC quite high up. I can't remember her position, but she was basically in tears, sort of saying like, well, he can't compete and it's in the rules, and doesn't really matter what the cause is. The rules are the rules. And it's just like so sad. I mean, what you could say is that probably more people have seen that helmet because he hasn't been able to compete than maybe if he did compete. So that's obviously not what he wanted, but he's trying to find a silver lining in the situation, and maybe that is it. I don't know. Just very sad.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think if he had gone down with it would have had like a couple of headlines for a bit. Do you know what I mean? But the fact he must have known as well, that's because he had a warning and everything. He must have known at some point that this was the outcome that was going to be. And maybe he knew then it would make more attention to it if he sacrificed his spot and got banned.
And then they said there's something like they tried to compromise. I don't know what that compromise would have been. Like, it feels like you either wear it or you don't. So I'd like to have known what that compromise was. But yeah, very sad for him. And I think he was sort of in contention for a medal as well. So I guess we'll never know. But yeah, very sad. Talking of sad as well, a different kind of sad, and definitely not to the level of that we were just discussing. But there was someone who definitely was sad, was Norwegian biathlete Sturla Holm Lagerid. You heard about this guy?
I think I know who you're talking about. Almost a bigger loser as Mark Kennedy, the Canadian curler.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is the Norwegian guy who admitted that he'd had an affair, cheated on his girlfriend, something like a week before the Olympics, or I don't know, something like that.
He admitted to it a week before the Olympics. I think it actually happened like a few months prior.
Yes, you're right. Why he thought this was important to air on national TV, I don't know. But I found it this hilarious. He went, I think what he said, it was six months ago, I found the love of my life. 3 months ago, I cheated on her. Didn't give it long, did you? 3 months. You dirty dog.
That's right. Who finds the love of their life and then 3 months later is like, maybe there's someone better out there.
God, yeah.
I felt his confession. He said a line that was like, I had already had a gold medal in my life. And I wonder if he thought that line and was like, yeah, I will say that on television. And it will win her back. I'll say that she was a gold medal and she'll love that. It didn't go to plan, did it, buddy?
No.
He's faced global ridicule, I think.
think you're right. I think definitely the villains of the games are Sturla and Marky Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Forever
is-
remembered for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Because his girlfriend said that she didn't want that. She didn't like the attention. He got bronze, right? And his
of
fellow
course.
countryman, his fellow countryman got gold. And then the whole story around that event was the guy in third place just having been a dirty dog.
Yeah.
You'd be well annoyed.
You would be well annoyed.
yeah.
What does he expect? This is like girlfriend or old girlfriend to be like, yeah, cheers, Sturla. Thanks for telling everyone you cheated on me, you idiot. And if you sort of like, did you really think I'm going to take you back for that? Like, you won bronze, mate, for starters. Maybe if you won gold.
Yeah, she's got the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and get with his teammate who won the gold.
And then go on TV and tell everyone she has.
Yeah. Or even better, she should take him back and then cheat on him with the guy. No,
and then go on national TV and tell everyone.
I think he's probably suffered enough. I bet he's, regretting a lot of things.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
made your bed.
Yeah. So yeah, what? You've laid your bed, Sterla. Accept it. Move on. You have to find another love of your life.
Give it a few more months to show up.
Plenty has been going on then, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Should we go to podium picks? Because
Podium picks.
we're starting to get some suggestions from listeners, which is fantastic, isn't it?
We love it. Who sent
do you want to hear
today?
one? Do you want to
Yes.
hear one? So we've had Sophie Setter,
Friend of the
send one
pod.
in. Friend of the pod, and all listeners are friends of the pod. So, do you want to hear it? It's an
of
interesting
course.
one. Okay, you wake up in a body swap scenario. You are at the start line in the Winter Olympics, but you have the body of the athlete, but not their mind. Would you rather find yourself at the top of the snowboard men's air course? So I'm thinking the big air here, where they're just jumping off huge ramps. The ski jump, or the couples ice skating, so figure skating. You got three tremendously difficult events there. So you have the body, but your mind.
Yeah. So to start with, this was making me think, pardon me, a little bit like our previous podium picks, just like which one could I do to survive? Do you know what I mean? I think it was like skeleton, big air, whatever. Because obviously I'm going to be terrified doing any of these things. But then it's a little bit deeper than that. I think it's a little bit thinking more like which of these sports has the muscle memory? Do you know what I mean? Like how much would my athlete body that I inherited, could it
Take
just
over.
switch on? So I think none of that would apply to the couples ice skating. I think with my mind, I don't care what body I've got, I'm messing that up on a grand scale, and whoever my partner is coming down with
in
me.
trouble.
So that would be the bronze for sure. Then we've got the ski jump and the snowboard air.
Big air, yeah.
Yeah. So the ski jump would have to be second. I would just have to go and hope to survive. So silver for the ski jump. Just close my eyes and hope that I land it. Hopefully I've got all the strong muscles and everything, and I'd obviously just try and do a little one. And I'm going to go gold snowboard men's air. I have snowboarded before, and with the body of a snowboarder, I think I could really do some magic. I'm talking 1440 backside melon.
You know your melons.
I would love to do snowboarding again. That's my takeaway from the Winter Olympics. So cool.
Go do it. Go do it. I'm a little bit surprised about that, because based on your reasoning, I thought ski jump would go number one, because that feels more formulaic than the other two, right? Well, I feel like muscle memory probably does play a role maybe in ski jump, in that your body would just like know how to launch yourself and maybe how to land. I suppose the thing with ski jump is you would be scared for your life.
I
in
would
your
be
mind.
pooing my pants continuously, and it would be causing severe risks.
Which you don't
I'd
want
be
in a skin
slipping
suit
from
because that's got nowhere to go.
We talked about the flappage the last episode. Extra bulge. I'd be having that from the
But
fear.
you'd have that body. You'd have that body, so maybe that's a nice little plus, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think the fear in the ski jump would just be too much.
Yeah. But you're not just rolling over these things with snowboard, big air. You're doing tricks. So you're just hoping
I wouldn't be doing
you
tricks.
come up to
I
this.
wouldn't be doing. It would just be a case of getting over the jump. I joked about doing the 440 melon. I'd be doing a 0 degree ollie.
But even okay, yeah, fair enough. The couples ice skating is just like you've got no chance, have you? It would just is actually like maybe my worst nightmare. That situation, a crowd, someone relying on you, and then music coming up, and you have no idea what to do.
Yeah. I have recurring nightmares sometimes that I'm at Aldridge Youth Theatre, shout out, and like I'm on stage and I haven't learnt my lines. And just that fear of being like all eyes on you and you've no idea what's going on.
That is
And
exactly
that was
the same sort of fear.
That's like 15 years ago and it stayed with me.
So that was that actually happened.
I definitely would have forgot my lines before, but I think the nightmare's sort of like it's happening right now, and I don't know any of them. Do you know what I mean? Like something's happened. I've gone to bed and just woke up 3 weeks later and it's showtime. Yeah. So that would be scary.
That's an awful dream. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. Well, thanks for that great podium pick, Sophie.
Yeah. If anyone's got any other ones, send us a comment. You can do that straight on the Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. YouTube,
yeah, 5
social
stars,
medias.
please. Subscribe to the channel. Comment on our
what
stuff.
Yeah.
We need to support you guys. But yeah, another good episode. Winter Olympics. We'll probably get one more in before the end of the games.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, what will
you can look forward to that, listeners?
We will see.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be dropping these every Tuesday from now on as well. I think we can commit to that.
Yeah, we can. Tuesday's the day.
Yeah.
All right, nice one, Matt. Great pod in.
Yeah. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye now. Ta-ra.